Hello. Hi. Today I feel like building, and I think what I want to do is build a house that looks just like this ghibli house. So, let's try it. So I realized really early on that this video would actually take a super duper long time, so I decided to go ahead and do a voiceover instead. The first little bit of this, I am trying to copy this house. And the reason why the house is so big on the screen is so you guys can see it too, but also because my face is being recorded because I didn't realize that this was going to be a voiceover type of video. Um, so yeah, the house is a lot. But that's kind of what I wanted. I really didn't think that it would take so long because I didn't think that I would make it so big, but then I actually got into it and I made it absolutely hunormous. Yep. The front door is actually on the second floor, which I thought was really cool. And I kept fighting with the doors for a super long time. Even on uh, 8 times speed, it takes me this long to figure it out. So, and I also fought with some columns for a while, and yeah, it's a lot of stuff. Um, this week I've been sick, which sucks, but I'm glad that I pre-recorded a lot of videos, so you guys still are getting a bunch of videos. um I know most people use this time as like a vlog sort of thing, but I don't know what to say. The thing is that I always go into recording, well, whenever I'm not recording, I have so much on my mind that I want to talk about with you guys, but then as soon as I'm on a mic, it's like my brain just is smooth. I don't know. It's anyway, the house. Uh so I fight with the terrain paint a whole lot. Not the paint, but like the leveling, cuz to be honest, I don't think it could be more annoying. Um but eventually I got it to the perfect height. So that was good. Here we go. Yep. Making progress. 8 times speed, and it took me that long. Um So for this house, I really wanted it to be I wanted the same cozy vibe that a normal Ghibli house has. And if you guys haven't watched a Ghibli movie, you totally should. But I assume that if you found this video, you probably watched them. So I'm gonna reference them a lot. I use this obviously is just a Ghibli house coloring book, and I actually used I think maybe 2 references from it. If I didn't put it in the video, I definitely still used the reference. Um, Maybe I should just go ahead and buy the book. I don't know. It looks like it could be a lot of fun, but I absolutely hate coloring, I'm not gonna lie. I fought with the door a whole lot, like I said, and right now I'm putting the column, like, I wanted it to have the little window above it, and I wanted it to have, like, the thick, but at this point I don't know what purpose the columns are serving, but I wanted it to have, like, the big, thick wooden columns. I don't know. We fought a lot. I wanted the windows to be exactly perfect, so there's a lot of window placement in this video. Like here, you know, this house lacks me being able to open windows. Because all of the Ghibli houses, like in the actual movies, the Ghibli houses, the windows are always open. And it's so cool. Because, like, everything is, like, blowing in the breeze as the movie's going, and the sunlight's coming through. And in The Sims, that's just not happening. It's not breezing. And then I realized that this wall was actually curved. So the one, yeah, that one is curved. Because you can see, like, how it has an overhang, which is pretty annoying. I didn't have to do that. Like, I didn't have to make it right, but I did. I put in that extra little oomph, right? Uh, yeah, oomph. At this point, yeah, I'm just fighting windows at this point. Anyway, back to what I was talking about before. I also lose track a lot whenever I record. videos, like I realize that I will not finish my sentences ever, and I'll also say like I that and it and whatever a lot, and I actually shouldn't say that and it because you guys actually have absolutely no idea what I'm talking about whenever I do that. Um I really lacked hanging plants for this video because Ghibli houses have like a lot of hanging plants and other brush, but luckily I have cottage living, so we got a lot of the outside um, mossiness that the normal houses have, or this reference house has. I don't know, normal houses. I don't know. I wanted to add hanging lights outside, which you guys will see later. I think it really came out pretty good. I fought with the front porch a lot because I didn't really understand how it was made. Because it comes out on an overhang, and I couldn't, like, the overhang just looked so weird in The Sims because there wasn't really a way for me to put, like, the front overhang. Look at it. It has freaking stone stuff underneath it, and that wasn't something I could do. Do you understand? Am I making sense? This week is actually spring break week for me, which is cool. Um, so I've been able to record quite a bit. I don't know what to talk about. What's been happening in my life? I don't know, if you guys don't follow me on Instagram or TikTok, then um, maybe you should. I don't know. It's all workout stuff. This is like strictly not workout stuff, but workout stuff is what I do normally. But this is strictly video games. Oh yeah, backyard stuff is free. The backyard stuff pack is free right now, so I got that. So at the end, I was able to add a few things from the backyard stuff pack, which not a lot because it's not that useful, but I was able to add some things, which is cool. I really enjoyed this part of the build because I was adding all the greenery. Maybe one day I'll be able to come back and revamp the build whenever I have more of the packs. Because I wish it was more green. And I mean, it becomes more green as we go. I decided I didn't like that door, apparently, and switched it to the wolf's back one. But I don't know how people do this. Because, to be honest, in real life, I am not a talker. After recording these videos, most of the time, my throat hurts because I just do not talk. It is honestly the most exhausting thing ever. And it's not even that I'm an introvert, it's just exhausting to talk. And I wonder if there's like a scientific thing where some people can just talk more and others just can't. Like, why is it so exhausting to talk? Anyway, I realized that I wanted another staircase, so that's kind of what I'm working on here, and I wanted more space in the front yard so I could add this stone. I was trying to figure out how to make it make sense. So, staircase seemed to be the way to go, and I figured out that if you don't put a slope, it actually helps a lot with placing the staircase, so that is why this is so steep. The hill is so steep is because that was the best way to make it. I don't know what else to tell you. This part I had to get really creative on and really look hard on the side of the picture to figure out what was going on. Of course, it's nowhere near the same, but I did realize that this popped out a little bit more and maybe was shorter because on the back it kind of looked like there was another patio. So there actually is like 3 patios on this, or balconies, or whatever you want to call them. Which is great and all. I actually, in my normal builds, like whenever I actually want to play, I put almost no landscaping because it really annoys me. because it's so hard to play with. I also realized in the back, because it like jumps a lot, but anyway, I realized in the back that there was yet another balcony, which I was fighting with a lot, but I just wound up making it another room, clearly, which helped out in the end. This actually winds up being 3-bedroom household, and in the basement, I was debating a lot. This build has taken me like 3 days to make, which I didn't do all at the same time, but I did a little bit today, and then I did a little bit way back when, and then I did a little bit like 2 days after way back when, if that makes sense. But I was really debating on whether or not I wanted the downstairs to be like a bedroom for grandma, or if I wanted it to be another kid's room, which I wound up making it a kid's room. And I was kind of thinking that she would be a preteen. Of course, on The Sims, you don't really get that kind of vibe. You don't get the preteen vibe. You just kind of go from like a kid to pretty much an adult, which is so annoying to me. Like, why are the teenagers the same size and look the same as the adults? But anyway, I decided that she was a preteen and that she was kind of going through changes, and maybe like she's main character in the Ghibli, obviously. And I guess I left the screen for a little while because that was a long pause. I wanted there to be more greenery on the side of the house, because clearly in the picture, all of the giant tree mossy bushes or whatever are like inside of the house. So there was no way for me to do that. I think at some point here soon, I add a whole bunch of wind turbines, whatever they're called, wind turbines, I think. And the reason why is because of how much like hints towards planes there are in Ghibli movies. I don't know if I'm just gonna assume that you guys have watched all of them. So I think The Wind Rises, and a lot of others all have like World War II themes and a lot of planes. There's a lot of blimps. The one like Nausicaa or whatever, I think, no. The one where the girl has that special necklace. That one, there's a lot of blimps and airplanes too. And so yeah, I wanted to add a lot of airplanes and stuff. Now we're working on the back porch, and as you can see, I added a bunch of lights because in the actual house, or on the actual house, there's a lot of lights hanging off of it, which is really cool. I felt creative doing that. But most of the balcony just has useful stuff, like skill building stuff, painting and chess, and I don't know, downstairs didn't. The one at the bottom didn't. It just has a place to eat and a grill. So I guess cooking, yeah, useful stuff. I like these flowers that you can hang on the side a lot, like the pink ones, the vine ones, but they look so weird if you put a bunch of them together, and I didn't know what to do there. But I added those for some extra texture on the side, because the picture seems to have something kind of like that. The windows are very weird, especially whenever we get to the inside, but they are exact on the outside, you know? So I figured that was more important. I mean, they're cool, but they are very oddly placed. And I wanted a bunch of fireflies. I actually went back and placed even more fireflies. Of course we needed a pond, because I don't know. It had to be there. Going out and placing a bunch more lights. My voice has been almost gone all week too, which is great. I found a bunch of stuff that I wanted to put inside, so that's what I'm doing right now. Even though most of them placed in the wall. But my voice has been almost gone, and I've been coughing. So I've I've actually been avoiding recording this because of the fact that my voice sounds annoying as can be. But it always sounds that way. I'm joking. I mean, it might sound that way, but whatever. Let's move on. I really wanted the house to have a lot of cute things, like the little gnomes and the pots, the plant stuff. It's a very busy house, and it's not something that I would normally play in, but also I really want to play in it because there's just so much, there's so many details, you know? And because it's Ghibli themed, and that just makes it cool. I would love it if The Sims had like the same art style as a Ghibli. Could you imagine? That'd be awesome. I don't know. Or they could just go back to The Sims 3 art style and be hyper realistic. That would also be awesome. So it took 1,000,001 years, but I'm finally able to work on the inside. And I used a ton of different references. Most of them, honestly, I wanted to use a platform right there, which clearly didn't work. It took out the whole entire house. But a lot of the references that I used were actually from Marnie. When Marnie was there, I keep wanting to say Marnie and Me, like it's a freaking Marley and Me, the dog movie. That's not what it is. It's when Marnie was there. I watched it yesterday, no, the day before, and it was really freaking sad, and I cried a little, just a little tiny bit. I could have cried a lot, but I held it in like a good girl. That was weird. Anyway, so soon there's gonna be a little reference thing. I had a very hard time deciding what to put in here because you don't want it to be ultra modern, but you don't want it to be too old lady. And I don't have a lot of Asian things, so it was really freaking difficult to figure out what I wanted. And so that's why we have a bunch of different references, like I said, which this one's when Marnie was there. Which I didn't wind up making it green, unfortunately, just because I didn't have as much green stuff to work with, especially whenever it got to the curtains. That's when it changes. To be honest, I don't think I like the kitchen. I think the kitchen could have had a lot more potential, especially if I had like hanging garlic and hanging shrubs and a cool, like the shelf with all the glassware. It was really hard to decorate the inside also because you can't place stuff as freely as I would like to place stuff, and Ghibli houses are all very full and they all look very lived in. And I just can't get that feel on here. But I put down some cupcakes, which is delicious and awesome. I don't know. I was excited for the kitchen until I started doing it. But I went back and added some more stuff. I just don't feel like it was as cohesive as I wanted it to be. And also, I don't feel like the windows, there's not as many windows as I want. And they can't open. Could you imagine if they could open on The Sims? That would be adorable. That would be so cute. So many things that could be, you know? I didn't want it to be too busy in the kitchen just because we don't have the right stuff to make it busy. But I added it took me forever to find, clearly. But I added a little, whatever that is, end table. And then I fought with it for a long time, trying to figure out how to get stuff on it. I was basing it off of the table that was actually in the picture a little bit ago. That was on the side. It had a bunch of stuff in the middle of it. And that's what I was trying to do. Anyway, I went back and changed a lot of this. Not a lot of it, but some enough. It gets a little bit better later. You guys should totally let me know what your favorite Ghibli movie is. I would say mine's Ponyo, which I actually forgot to put anything for Ponyo until the very end. I wanted to add themes of at least most of them, but I didn't do that until the very end. Whenever I got to the living room, I was trying to find something to base it off of, and this was the best picture just because of how full it is and how many ideas I got from it. It the kitchen the sorry. The living room doesn't look anything like this, and I realized that, but it was what I drew inspiration off of. What I realized in this is that Ghiblis have a lot of flippin' books. And they have a lot of books, they have a lot of plants, and they have a lot of clutter. And it's so beautiful, but it's so not cool for my situation. Also, the ladder up to the upstairs in that last picture, that would have been so cool to add, but I feel like that would have been really annoying for The Sims, you know? And I already had 3 floors, and I thought about changing the wall height later on, but it's just such a big build, and it took so long that I didn't want to fool with it. The little girl in the bookshelf holding flowers, I thought she was like a cute little like Japanese Chinese girl like going to a festival or something. No, it's Dia de los Muertos, Day of the Dead. It's a freaking skeleton, but I didn't know that until later on, and I still used it anyway. This little dining table I thought was cute. I didn't think it was very Ghibli-like. I don't think I've ever seen a Ghibli with something that looks that Western. And there's a lot of Western themes in Ghiblis, which I think is crazy. Like, as somebody who lives in America, our movies are not, like, they don't really include other cultures. And in every single, like, Japanese movie, anime, Ghibli, they always have Western culture included. Like, there's always some blonde dude or something, which I don't really know what that, I mean, I can take a few guesses, but I don't really know what that says. Finally getting started on the upstairs, and this is where 2 bedrooms are. The main bedroom with the big patio on the outside. Had to move the door because there was nowhere for the bed. And then a baby room, which were fun. I didn't really know what to do with them, so I kind of just made it kind of old Western themed, and the baby's room has a lot of airplanes in it. But this winds up being a very full space. And of course it was annoying to build on the rounded off wall, but it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. I wish that dollhouse had a purpose. Oh wait, no, that's definitely Arietti. The dollhouse is Arietti. Put planes in here to represent all of the blimps and stuff that he's got. Put some of those little thingies. Cloud, because I could use it, so why wouldn't I use it, right? I even put a freaking helicopter, even though I don't know if there's any helicopters. Watching the wind rises makes me think about planes a lot. Just, I mean, the whole movie is planes. The creator of some of these Ghiblis, I forgot his name, Miyazaki maybe, I think. Bro loves planes. Obsessed with planes. That's all I know. Me, personally, I prefer the ones that aren't about planes. Like, I like the weird ones. I think my opinion is pretty popular. But I really liked Spirited Away. Because it was so weird. And I love that about it. I love that about her. I didn't know what to do with this hallway for a long time. I actually was very tired at this point because all of this was done in the same day. And it was past my bedtime. So I came back the next day and I redid it quite a bit. Um, the curtain that I chose from Werewolves for that room, I don't know why I chose it, but I didn't know what else to choose, and I thought that it looked lived in and kind of old, so I figured it fit really well. This bookshelf really gave me some work to do because I had no idea what to put in it at all for so long. Even today, I changed it again. Like 2 weeks after I built this, I came back and I changed it again, that bookshelf. Anyway, this is the giant basement, and I think the basement turned out really cool. It's just a giant workspace and then the kids' room and another bathroom. Because the bathroom, there was only one spot for a bathroom upstairs, so I had to put a big one here. And this is the next day where overnight, I was like, what if I made that a hallway so it was not just an ensuite bathroom? Made a giant long hallway. And so that's what I'm doing here. There's a giant long hallway, and yeah. And that's the bathroom. I haven't play tested this, so you might actually not be able to move around this house at all. I have no idea. I also will go at the end. We'll go back and take a look at everything and upload it to the gallery. I think people will like it, right? Somebody will. I like it. It almost makes me want to actually play the game. You know, it doesn't make me want to play the game though. The fact that only adults really have any gameplay. That's what gets me. Because I think my favorite part of The Sims 3 is the different parts of the life that you live. Like, being a child, there's so many cool, fun things to do just for children. Don't really care about toddlers. But there's so many cool, fun things to do just for teenagers. And maybe it's because I don't have the packs, but, like, still, the teenagers just look like adults, and that really throws me off. I can't get over it. The teenagers just look like young adults, and that makes me so flippin' angry. Anyway, there's only gameplay for adults, so, like, after you have kids, you're like, me, personally, at least, after I have kids on this game, I lose interest. That's, like, the only fun part. Like, I get past the lifetime wish, and then I'm bored. And then I have kids, and then I'm bored again. Anyway, this room is based off of The Cat Returns. It's pretty cute. I think whenever I said that she's a preteen in the middle of going through changes, I figure that her bedroom has not been updated to a teenager kind of bedroom. She's still got a little kid bedroom. You know what I mean? How you kind of, like, whenever you're, I don't know, 16 or something, you start finding Pinterest trends and then you change your whole entire bedroom because you're not a little kid anymore. It's just something that happens, and that's kind of where she is right now. And so, yeah, that was my whole inspiration for that bedroom. That and The Cat Returns. The picture from The Cat Returns. And then I wanted, with that said, this basement has a lot to do with her. It has a lot of skill stuff to do, work stuff to do, but also it has a lot to do with her. So there's a little bathroom that kind of matches her bedroom, and then there's this storage closet on the side where I put a bunch of old stuff that she doesn't want in her bedroom anymore, like a bunch of old school projects, cool items that the father or the mother have found over time. I just wanted it to look like this family lived here, you know? So that's what I'm working on right here. We got some cool, like, werewolf items that you can find. This basement took me a long time to figure out because there's a lot that I wanted to do with it, and I'm also not able to find items that I want ever. But for the first room that you walk into is kind of an open area with a bunch of gardening stuff, which I went back and added a garden at the end. But I figure the mom maybe is really into gardening and the dad is into making jewelry or whatever. I thought about adding a candle making station, but I just didn't. Because I feel like your Sims wouldn't even have the time to actually work on that because there's so much other stuff to take care of and do. Like take care of the chickens and garden. Again, stuff only adults can do, so I don't know what the kids are gonna do. Probably just sit there and use their stupid little craft table. I'm so bitter about kids and teenagers. And the thing is that I don't even feel like what I saw out of Growing Together, it doesn't make up for the lack of gameplay they have. Not to what I've seen. Of course, I don't have it and I haven't played with it, but just watching other people play with those packs, that pack, those packs, any of the packs, I just don't see the gameplay getting that much more realistic or fun for kids. But I fought with the tables a lot. This is where I wanted to put in little accents from all of the Ghiblis. So again, we have planes. There's planes everywhere. And then I added a little, the wolves that was on the shelf before, that is Princess Mononoke. And then that little boat that I just added, I figure that's Ponyo, at least a little bit. And then the flower, I have no idea. I just thought it looked cool. Also, the big ship, not quite sure. I'm sure that there's something though. And then I also added a little wooden statue of like this big burly guy. I don't know if you guys caught it, but it's there. I added a cat. I added that owl. I don't know what the owl is. I know the cat is like the Cat Returns or one of the other cat ones that they made. There was like a period in time where all of the animators wanted to make cats into people, which I'm not really into. But the big burly guy, like I was talking about just a second ago, he kind of represents every single big, quiet, like stoic dude that are in the Ghiblis. I'm sure you guys know who I'm talking about. Like in When Marnie Was There, there's that dude on the boat. I say that one because it's the one that I just watched recently. There's a lot of wolves for Princess Mononoke, which is like one of my faves. Because she's so violent. And she is trying to save the earth. The game keeps trying to take away my paint. So I had to fight with it a little bit. I guess I'm just, I don't know, fixing the outside. I thought that I was done. I thought this was it. I lied to myself though. I keep on checking on the light in the house. The lighting for the whole house, because the lighting here is quite odd, but I think it's very pretty. That's what I was doing just a second ago. But this, I'm making the garden, which I based off of the garden that they have in when Marnie was there, their big tomato garden, because I thought that was cool. So whenever I was watching it, I was like, I need to add this in my game. But this isn't how it looks. That's also not at all what it looks like, but I thought that this looked cool, so I'm proud of it. I literally just did it, so I hope I still like it. I wanted it to look used. I don't know how actually usable it is, though, whenever you get into the game. I added the woodworking station just because I watched when Marnie was there. The little bike, I figured, could be like the whatever it's called, the poncho one. I haven't actually watched that one, but the front is him on a bike, so. And then there's a bunch of brooms all over the house, which I figured could be Kiki's delivery service. I mean, there's the sweets in the kitchen, so that could be Kiki's delivery service. And then there's, um, I added some. I realized that they have a lot of these stoves or the fireplaces, so I added another one downstairs. I wanted to move this around and make it look less stiff, and I wound up getting rid of that glass thing in the middle. I had no idea what to do with this bird, so I fought with him for a while. I got rid of the glass thing in the middle because it took up too much space, and I wanted these tables to not be so much, so I fought with them also. There we go. That was the final decision. I thought it needed some more greenery, just because every single ghibli everywhere has something. There's not an inch of detail that's missing, unless there is, but I don't notice that because I choose to ignore things that I like as being imperfect, so they're perfect. Anyway, like I said, I went back to that bookshelf and fought with it again. I took out those stupid shoes and put in a little record player, and I found this. Well, I was trying really hard to find the thing from Tiny Living to put on the coffee table, and I wound up just having to like look it up because I couldn't find it anywhere. It was literally hiding from me. But I wanted to add more like fresh produce in the kitchen, which obviously I couldn't do. But I added some kind of plants. Like I wanted stuff to hang down like that, so that was um my final decision. And then I wanted to add a bucket. A freaking bucket. Who knew that finding a bucket would be so flippin' hard? But that's the only bucket that there is, which I wanted it to represent Ponyo because she's inside of that little bucket. I was just wanting to add any last minute details. Again, that's the boat for Ponyo. I really wanted to represent Ponyo because I love Ponyo. It's my favorite one. I thought that looked cool there. That's all. This is for My Neighbor Totoro, even though he is much bigger and much cooler looking, but all I could find was that big giant cat, which I thought was it's okay. It works. It works for now, for these purposes. And then I added pigs for Spirited Away. But anyway, this build's about up, so it's about time for us to go back into the game, and I will give you guys a final tour of this awesome, amazing Ghibli house. So yeah, I guess get hype, guys. It's about over. Let's look. Fireflies? Oh, there's a fish jumping out of the grass. I love that. I love that. Anyway, so this is our garden. I'm not sure if this is really the most important part to show you, but I'm gonna start with down here. So there's very cool pond with some flowers, and it's supposed to have fish jumping inside of the water, not on the ground and in the grass. There's also this cool rabbit hole. There's a place to sit. I made it stone because it seemed more Ghibli-like, but I don't know. And we have some cool greenery. I love these flowers. They're very pretty in my opinion. And then we got this awesome garden with our chicken and our chicken coop. And I know that the chickens are literally going to be like roaming around wherever and that the grass doesn't match that grass. But please just don't look at it. So this is kind of based off of Marnie and me, like, or not, oh my god, when Marnie was there. And this is loosely like poncho, whatever that one is called. And then we got like a Ponyo reference over here. But we're gonna start with the, oh poop. We're gonna start with the second floor because that is really supposed to be the first floor. So you walk in and you got this, which I guess you can hang jewelry on and listen to music. And then I saw this exact thing. I think it was in when Marnie was there as a reference to Princess Mononoke. And this has no reason to be there, but I love it. So I think most people can agree. So I don't think anybody will be too angry about that. I also added this cat basket, which I didn't realize had a cat on it, but that's great because it Easter egg reference. Totally. Definitely meant to do that. And then our kitchen, or our dining room has a little pig, and then some maps to reference stuff. And then here's our beautiful kitchen with some hanging herbs. Love it. I don't think there's anything on this wall over here. Oh, there is. There's a light and a alarm. I put a tea thing too, so that they could have tea, and a picnic basket so that they can go on a picnic. I can't talk ever. Go on a picnic, and then this back part looks pretty, I think, in my opinion. Then you can come down the stairs and go over here. You got a woodworking table and a flock of birds that will probably beat you up. Some wood, which was on the original reference photo. And then this bird box, birdhouse. Oh, and then out of the kitchen, you can come onto this patio, which I probably should have put a place to eat out here, considering it's attached to the kitchen, but it's more of just a hobby area with a bunch of planters and a telescope. Anyway, let's go upstairs. So we got this little office nook area in the first bathroom in the house. And the parents' bedroom has a nice little place for them to sit and crochet or whatever. And then there's a logic table. And then the baby's room has a big cat to be Totoro and Ariete, and yeah, cool stuff. And then if you come back outside, you can go down into the basement area where there's gardening stuff that isn't actually usable. You can use this, I guess, if you wanted, but it's more for pretend, like a dollhouse. And then you have this unfinished basement area. I didn't even put flooring down, which I didn't realize, but I think it fits. It suits it well. And then we have this crystal work area, which I really only added because it's new. Guilty as charged. It's just new, and I like it. It's like a bottle of medicine, like the wolf medicine to make you not a wolf. But this is that big guy that I was talking about, the big stoic dudes that they always have. And this floating boat that I didn't realize was floating. I had a bunch of crystals because I figured, he'd be a collector. Floating cat. And then the last bedroom of the house from The Cat Returns. And she's a preteen who hates her bedroom, but it's too messy to even, for her parents to even think about getting her a different bedroom. She needs to learn to be more responsible. I don't know, main character. And then another bathroom. And yeah, that's pretty much the entire build. Took me a long time, but I think it came out really pretty. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. It was a lot of work, but it was a lot of fun, and I think the house came out really pretty. So if you like it, it'll be on the gallery eventually today. And yeah, I hope you guys have a great day, because I will, so you should too. And bye.